Good evening, everybody. My name is John Leonard. I'm chairman of the Milton Board of Appeals, and welcome to the May 17th, 2021 hearing of the board at 7:30 p.m. We have two agenda items for this hearing. We have the 7:30 hearing, which is an application for special permit by Mary Sennett Burke, seeking a special permit at 75 Granite Place, proposing to put an addition at the rear of the residence. And we have a second 7:45 hearing of Wendell and Sherry Richardson at 500 Howland Street, seeking a continuance to use the temporary in-law apartment for another 4 years. So we're going to call to, it's now 7:41. So we're going to call to order the first hearing, the 7:30 hearing of Mary Sennett Burke. As I indicated, my name is John Leonard. With us this evening is board member Michael Brown and board member Virginia Donahue King has some technical issues that she's still working on. But I can announce for the purpose of the 7:30 hearing and the 7:45 hearing that both of these hearings are going to be continued. Most unfortunately, the Senior Principal Clerk of the Board of Appeals, Ms. Bev Sutton, is ill, and as a result of that is not able to be present personally or via Zoom for these hearings. And Bev Sutton is indispensable for the fair hearing process because she not only has to take minutes of what happens at the meetings, but she also handles recognizing third parties who want to be heard and ask questions virtually, and for other administrative parts of the hearing process. So I did call Marion McGettrick, attorney Marion McGettrick, who represents Mary Sennett Burke. Had a wonderful discussion with her about Ms. Sutton's illness and the fact that we were going to open this hearing and continue the hearing until 7:30 on May 24th, 2021, as a result of Bev's temporary illness. And Mrs. McGettrick had no objections whatsoever to that and was most gracious and cordial, wishing her best to Ms. Sutton for a speedy recovery, and looking forward to seeing her again on the 24th at 7:30. So we have before us a motion to continue the 7:30 hearing until May 24th, 2021 at 7:30. Do we have a second to that, Mr. Brown?
Second.
Thank you. Is there anybody present this evening who has any questions regarding the continuance of the 75 Granite Place hearing, or who otherwise would like to be heard? Okay, and the record indicates that there's no such person present. So with no further ado, Mr. Brown, how do you vote on the motion to continue this hearing to May 24th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m.?
I vote to continue.
Okay, and I likewise vote to continue. And Miss Virginia King still hasn't been able to get onto the system. So the vote is 2-0 to continue this hearing for 1 week, May 24th, 2021. As I say, I spoke with Mrs. McGettrick about this, but we'll also send her an additional notice and post the new hearing date with the clerk within the next day or two. So if there's no further evidence or administrative responsibilities at this 7:30 hearing of Mary Sennett Burke, we'll adjourn that hearing and we'll be in a very, well, I don't know, 7:45, I think. If it is 7:45, we'll just continue on to the next hearing. What do you have on your clock, Mr. Brown? Do you have a watch there?
Yep, 7:44, almost 7:45.
Okay, so why don't we just adjourn for 30 or 40 seconds, and when it hits 7:45, we'll call to order the Richards. It's my computer has just hit 7:45, so
Same here.
we've stalled ourselves into the second hearing of the evening. And this will open this hearing. This is the hearing of Wendell and Sherry Richardson at 500 Holland Street. The Richardsons are requesting to continue the use of a temporary in-law apartment for their mother-in-law for another 4 years. The Richardsons are represented by attorney Andrew Barrett of Quincy, Massachusetts. I don't know whether Mr. Barrett is virtually present for this meeting. I don't see him on the screen. Mr. and Mrs. Richardson present virtually this evening.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi, folks. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Did you get a chance to talk with Mr. Barrett about the situation?
Very briefly. We didn't get to talk at length, very briefly.
Okay, well, I tried to reach Mr. Barrett multiple times using all kinds of methods, including putting my name down as somebody seeking legal services on his one of his advertisements. I tried to leave a voicemail message. It sounds like one of them got through.
Okay.
We had an unfortunate experience this afternoon. We learned that our senior principal clerk is taken ill, Beverly Sutton, and was required to have some testing done at the hospital. And the testing was going to run late, and she was feeling terrible. I actually tried to call your residence, but had no luck, and the answering machine said it was full, and it wouldn't take my message. But
Sorry, we're both working from home, so the house phone just rings, and we're just tending to work.
it happens all the time in COVID times. It's, I think, one of the issues. So what the proposition was that we would continue this hearing tonight for only 1 week, and then would resume it on the 24th of May, a week from today, at 7:45, and finally be able to hear and conclude this matter.
Okay,
Is that acceptable to you?
sure, I guess.
Yes,
Okay.
and the reason for that is because of the illness,
The illness of
that, and because of the attorney.
no, it's the illness of Beverly Sutton, the senior principal clerk of the board.
Right.
She handles, when the hearings are taking place, she handles the administrative portion of the hearing.
Understood.
So she recognizes people and takes notes and minutes of the meeting, and she has to write them down and
Hmm.
all of that. And so she's indispensable to the hearing.
Okay,
Okay,
that's fine,
Sure.
understood.
that's acceptable.
So we
That's
thanks a
wonderful.
lot for that. So what we're going to do then is, by agreement of the parties, we're going to continue this hearing to May 24th, 2021 at 7:45 in the evening, and hopefully be able to dispose of your application at the next hearing, just as a matter of formality, because Ms. Sutton's not here and I can't see who's out there in virtual land
Okay,
tuning into your hearing. Let me just ask, is there anybody out there who wishes to be heard on this motion of the board to continue the hearing for 1 week's time? Okay, it doesn't sound like anybody is objecting or wants to otherwise be heard. So with that being the case, I'll have a motion to continue this matter to 7:45 at May 24th, 2021. Mr. Brown, who's a board member and is present this evening virtually, how do you vote on the motion?
I vote for the continuance, Mr.
Oh,
Leonard.
I vote for the continuance, and Virginia Donahue King is having difficulty with her Zoom system and is not able to tune in with us. So the vote is 2-0 to continue this hearing for a week. And so the motion is carried. Mr. and Mrs. Richardson, I want to thank you for your courtesy and look forward to seeing you in 1 week's time.
Very good.
Thank you and see you in a week.
Have a good week.
All right, thank you.
Yep,
Bye.
take care. Bye-bye.
So with no further business, we're going to adjourn this May 17th, 2021 hearing before the Board of Appeals, unless there's something that Mr. Brown wants to add.
No, please pass along my best to Beverly if you speak to her, and otherwise I'll see you in a week.
Sounds great. Thanks you, Michael. I appreciate your tuning in, and I certainly pass on your best to Beverly Sutton. So we'll be adjourned for the evening until the 24th of May at 7:30 to begin the Senate hearing, and for 7:45 to hear the Richardson hearing. So we're adjourned. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for our assistance